Hello and welcome everyone to today's Commodities Corner presented by myself, Phil Carr at the Gold and Silver Club. So during today's session, we will be going through live market analysis. We'll go through a watch list of trade ideas, a forecast of where we expect gold, silver, crude oil and the commodity currencies to be heading next. We'll be answering questions and also, of course, providing live support. So before we get into it, let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is regarded as the go-to authority on commodities trading. As internationally respected experts, our analysis and our opinions on the metals, energy and the agriculture markets, they're routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, which include Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, the Financial Times, the Wall Street Journal. Over the last 10 years, myself and my team of experts, we have trained and mentored thousands of traders from all over the world on our exclusive research-driven strategies. For more information on our services, please go to www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. Okay, fantastic. So we'll crack on and we'll go through some of the trade ideas that we're looking at the moment and what we're seeing developing in the charts, the overall sentiment in the markets, and some of the major news items that we're seeing right now as well. So what I will do, I'm just going to switch you over to my screen. So just going to double check we've got everything set up okay there for you to have a look at exactly what is happening right now. Bear with me. Right, let's do this. Okay, good. So you should be able to see my screen at the moment. Yep, fantastic. Thanks very much, Sharice. Okay, good. Right, so first of all, we just have a look at the overall sentiment of the markets right now. So we can see, for example, some of the metals have been leading today. So, for example, palladium has broken out here to 9-week highs. So we've seen quite a move here on palladium this week. We've also got gold rallying versus the pound sterling, gold rallying versus the euro today. Those are some of the biggest movers. The euro's got a bit of strength. It's breaking out against the Australian dollar, also against the Canadian dollar at the moment as well. Gold prices, we saw a breakout earlier on in the session. We broke above the 2-day highs here. And yesterday, in fact, and overnight, we came back for a retest back below 1,200. We broke back below 1,100. And $98 approximately. We got just below that zone yesterday. We found support this morning, so we got to break back out to $1,209. And we're sitting at the moment around 1,203. We've been backing and filling quite a lot here. We're consolidating quite a lot, which is actually marrying up to what we saw previously before the breakdown in price, where we consolidated before this big breakdown. So at the moment, what will be interesting is that today is the last day of August, the last trading day as well of the month. So being the 31st of August, we know that there's a big sell short position in the gold market right now. And if we start to see traders take profit, particularly in the US, because on Monday it's going to be a bank holiday in America. They've got Labor Day. Some traders are already taking that off in America anyway. They're taking off like for a long weekend, for a 4-day weekend, and other traders will be likely squaring up out of some positions. Possibly we'll see some take profit later on in the session. So far today, we've seen a bit of choppy price action on gold, on the US dollar, not really getting a lot of follow through on many moves. So we'll have a look at that shortly. But I wouldn't be surprised if later on in the session, because we've already had this spike high on gold, if gold would get a bit of support due to the fact that some traders at the end of the month, they'll just be squaring out of some sell shorts or taking some profits off the table. We'll see. We've had several attempts to break below 1,200 this week where we haven't seen a close below that level. Gold is building up a bit of support here against the euro and also against the pound sterling as well. But we really need to see how this develops later on in the session. But I think it will probably stay range bound. I don't know that we'll get a full-on move here today in either direction. I think we could just be within quite a tight range as we've seen throughout most of this week. But we're seeing the metals are leading today in terms of sentiment here. You've got platinum finding some support as well. The weaker markets right now have been the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. So the Australian dollar, Japanese yen actually was quite a nice sell short overnight, and we've seen that off the back of additional escalation in trade war tensions as Trump is likely to put more tariffs on China again, and we've seen that in some of the news stories yesterday. That immediately put pressure on the commodity currencies like the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. So Australian dollar, Japanese yen broke down overnight. Australian dollar, Swiss franc as well is still following through. Australian dollar, US dollar, we were shorting that as well. New Zealand dollar, we've been shorting too, and that's actually on the verge now, breaking below yesterday's low, and that could actually break below the neckline and follow through. So we've seen overall weakness there in the commodity currencies, and that's been really the major play here, either selling short on Australian dollar, US dollar, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. What I'm looking at now is the US dollar, Japanese yen. So for me, this is a sell short, and it's actually picking up a bit of momentum at the moment. I'm just going to double check that pricing, US dollar, Japanese yen. Yeah, for me, we've actually executed a sell short on this. So I'm short at the moment on the US dollar, Japanese yen. I don't see much support until we get back down. I'm looking at this for anywhere between about a 20 to 50 pip move today. If we can develop a little bit of momentum, get back towards about the 110, about 22 zone, that would be ideal. But I see that as having some potential to follow through. So that's US dollar, Japanese yen. If we have a look at this, we've seen the fears about additional escalation in trade war tensions have a negative impact here again. What you want to look at, if you hear about trade war tensions and escalation, your immediate thought, and this was the immediate thought yesterday, and you can write this down for future reference. Sometimes in the heat of the moment, you might forget this sort of information, and it's good to have as part of your trading plan. Every time Trump tweets out or has speculation about additional trade war tariffs he's going to put on China, whether it be China or another country, bear in mind the knee-jerk reaction of the markets will hit. Copper often will sell off, the Australian dollar will sell off, the New Zealand dollar will sell off, Japanese yen currencies will sell off, the US dollar will gain strength. So just remember that, okay? So when we do see that happen in the market, your immediate thought yesterday, which is where we positioned ourselves, should be, as soon as we had that news item, okay, well, where is the Australian dollar? Looking to sell that. We had a sell signal on. Where is the New Zealand dollar? I mean, that's breaking down at the moment. Still a sell at the moment, sell signal. You want to be selling those. You can also sell Australian dollar, Japanese yen, which is broken down. New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen, which has moved nicely as well. And you could also look at some weakness in gold and silver, but they're not 100% because they could get a safe haven bid. So copper would be better to sell short into as well. Normally oil gets a bit of a hit as well, but it's really the commodity currencies and Japanese yen crosses. So you could short New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar, could be US dollar, Japanese yen, which should weaken as well. We haven't weakened as much as some of the other crosses yet, but it might pick up later on in the session. You could short euro, Japanese yen. You could look at pound, Japanese yen. There are a lot of crosses. CAD, Japanese yen has tanked today as well. There are quite a lot of opportunities which you want to look at when trade war tensions start to escalate. And those are some of the ones that I would certainly take a look at and you want to be keeping aware of, okay? So from a trade idea point of view right now, it's 10 past 2 in the afternoon in the London session here, and we've got potentially not as much volatility in the US session because a lot of traders in America are just getting ready for Labor Day. Labor Day is on Monday. There'll be a bank holiday in the USA, but we'll see if we get some continuations. Bear in mind that we could get some profit taking as well because it's the last day of the month here. So my trading plan at the moment, some of the top trades I'm looking at, I'm basically selling the US dollar, Japanese yen. I see some clean air here, taking the price back towards these lower channels. I just double check and see if there's anything else that we need to be aware of. I don't really see much support for the US dollar, Japanese yen. So I think we should be on track. We've shorted it from higher prices, but I think still there's some follow-through potential here, taking it back down to around 110.35, ideally to around 110.17. Then I'll take like 50, 60 pips off the table. If it does that today, it's basically a bear flag, broken the weekly pivot. I don't see much support for the US dollar, Japanese yen. Gold, it's kind of in a weird limbo area at the moment where it could consolidate. I discussed this before, where it's quite tight, the overall range. Probably what we'll see is consolidation in the way that we had consolidation on the left of the chart. We'll see it on the right of the chart. It's not following through, which is interesting here. We broke above the 2-day high this morning, up to around 12.09. No follow through, didn't break down as well. If the US dollar catches a bid today, it would put pressure on gold, but gold neither here nor there at the moment. It's consolidating within a bit of a tight range. I would just keep on observing that for the time being. If we break below yesterday's low, it might shoot down to 11.84, but it's getting some support at the moment, so I would park that to one side. The euro pound here, I'm watching out for a sell short as well. We've been short this a couple of times this week, And I'm still looking at the potential if we can break through that trend channel to then see further momentum. We've got quite a lot of clean air here. This channel has been in place for quite a long time. So it's not a surprise to see some support come in at that channel. It's been in place since about June. But when we break it, and this would depend on euro being weaker than the pound, I think the pound should be stronger than the euro short term. We could see some short covering on the pound as well off the back of positive sentiment this week on the pound sterling where it broke out to 1 month highs. But we're not quite there yet. We could do with a bit more confirmation, but I'm watching that for a sell short opportunity later on in the session. I don't know if it's going to gather much momentum. You can just look at that lower time frame as well. I'm looking at that too. Euro is definitely selling off, and we could follow through a bit more to the downside today, although it's not my favorite trade right now. US dollar, Swiss franc, yeah, it's pretty oversold. It'll probably get a bit of a bounce at this level too. New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen, I mean, that's basically about to hit the profit target. Australian dollar, Japanese yen too, so it's about to hit the next level, weekly pivot below there. That's moved quite well. Actually, Swiss franc, Japanese yen, I was looking at this yesterday. I think we've got to sell short on that just for a temporary move back down to, it's very overbought at the moment. You might want to have a look at that. Swiss franc, Japanese yen, at least should move to the weekly pivot, possibly lower. It's been quite overbought at these levels. Again, it's Friday afternoon, last day of the month, so just be aware that you might see some weird volatility today. But overall, that's a bit overbought at the moment, so I could see potential for Swiss franc, Japanese yen to sell off a bit. Euro, Swiss franc as well, short-term downside, probably come back down towards a swing low. Bollinger Band as well, still negative sentiment for that. Yeah, New Zealand dollar, CAD, I would not take any trades on that at the moment. Pound, Japanese yen, sell signal on that as well, possibly a bear flag going into next week, but I'm going to short the US dollar, Japanese yen for now. CAD, Japanese yen as well, also selling off. So again, every time you hear trade war tensions and escalation and Trump wants to put more tariffs on China, for example, expect Japanese yen crosses to sell off, okay? Have it in your trading plan, have it in your trading diary. That's what you can anticipate. That's the way you want to position yourself. Euro, Australian dollar, nothing much to do there, too overbought. Pound, Swiss franc, yeah, that reversed overnight. Nothing really to do on that. Australian dollar is quite weak, still selling off at the moment, more sentiment on that. New Zealand dollar, just about breaking down to the weekly pivot now as well. We're out of that sell short now. Pound is pulling back a little bit. I think the euro is more vulnerable to more downside. Here we go. So the euro pound, I would definitely keep an eye on this. I really see the potential if the euro pound breaks that trend channel for quite a lot of downside this afternoon. Got a few more hours yet, so we'll see. But that's one of my favorite trade setups if we can break through that low today. What else have we got? US dollar index getting a bit of support. Oil is kind of consolidating below $70 per barrel. I'd wait for the oil rig count before taking any new positions, but we've more or less hit our profit target. We've banked our long position this week on that. What else is setting up? Australian dollar, CAD, bit overdone at the moment. Palladium is right at those 9-week highs, right at the upper Keltner channel, so it's a bit overbought. Platinum at the moment, neither here nor there, kind of consolidating the same as gold. US dollar CAD, there's a buy signal on that at the moment, might hit the upper trend channel. Got a little bit more upside in that, but I'm not going long that for the time being. CAD Swiss franc is almost there at the lower Keltner channel. Nice follow through on that, but I've not got a position on that. Euro, Japanese yen, again, nice sell signal on that. Japanese yen pairs all look weak today. I can see the potential for more follow through. So put that on the watch list as well. Euro, Japanese yen, pound, Australian dollar. Yeah, it's pretty bullish at the moment. We should get a breakout back towards the upper Keltners, but I don't want to chase that move at the moment. Okay, so really my top trade ideas at the moment are selling into the US dollar, Japanese yen. Euro, Japanese yen still looks weak, but I prefer US dollar, Japanese yen. Gold, it's decision time today. I like the euro pound for a sell if you can break below the trend channel. New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen, Australian dollar, Japanese yen, they're all about to hit profit targets. Now have a look at the emerging markets and see what's happening there. On the emerging currencies, US dollar against the Turkish lira has ramped up again as we've got additional fears. Yeah, it's still up 33%. The US dollar is up against the Turkish lira on the last day of the month. It's still been very significant. The devaluation on the Turkish lira this month. I mean, that looks like we could actually break back above the highs here. We'll go over to just some of the news stories here. Let's just see what's getting the headline news on the foreign exchange markets. Yeah, peso's falling. Turkish lira gains against dollar. Okay, not much though. Yeah, you see here, Australia, New Zealand dollar, slippery slope as trade tensions flare. So just remember that every time the trade tensions escalate, again, from a fundamental point of view, start looking at sell short opportunities on the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar, okay? Worries about escalating trade tariffs between the United States and China. After 3 straight sessions of declines, was at its lowest level since since August 24th. Aussie is now within spitting distance of a move to 1.5-year lows. Yeah, no surprises there. So probably we'll see a bit more follow through today. That's really it in terms of the sentiment, in terms of any sort of major narrative in the market today. Excuse me. We don't have any major news really other than that at the moment. So markets are probably going to just continue that sentiment today for the time being. I don't really see that sentiment change, which is why I would just keep it. You might be able to catch a long on gold as well. I'd watch that on lower time frames. If it breaks back above the weekly highs here, or the last couple of days of highs, back above around 12.10, we could shoot to 12.15, and then next week around 12.20. So I'd look at that as well. You could look at euro pound on a 4-hour chart as well for a potential sell. US dollar, Japanese yen. I just don't see where any support is going to come in until we get back down to the lower pivots there. Could sell the euro. Could sell it. It's not a trade I'm in. I'm not in the euro US dollar at the moment. I'm not selling this right now. I'm selling euro pound. Well, I'm looking at, we've got positions on euro pound, but I'm also looking to add if we get a break below that trend channel and back below the daily lows there as well. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's it really, guys, in terms of what we're looking at for trade ideas. Again, I don't really see much change in sentiment because we don't really have any major news items due out this afternoon. So we probably will just get a continuation throughout the next few hours here. Maybe some profit taking because it's the last day of the month, a bit later in the session. That's what I would look out for. I'd look out for gold as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see gold break out later on in the session, to be fair. The reason I say that is it's the last day of the month and the net sell short position is so big on gold. If you start seeing some traders unravel or take some profit off the table just end of the month and closing out, you could see a recovery rally later. So I would just have that on the radar, but it's not quite there yet in terms of confirmations. Okay, so I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a bit of confidence to what you might be looking at as well. What I'll do here, guys, we'll be putting out a new report over the weekend, and just hop over to our YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, or just search it on YouTube, the Gold and Silver Club. We'll put out a fresh update for the week ahead. That will be out tomorrow. We'll cover gold, silver, and also oil and any other major market developments. So that will be going out the weekend. We'll also do the midweek reports as well. If you want to find out more about actually how to join the program, you can go to the link in our YouTube channel. Again, just go for the Gold and Silver Club on YouTube or click on the link that I've just put in the chat there, or just go directly. So you can go directly, and it's just, I'll give you the link in just a second. Here it is. It's www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. Okay, so if you want to find out more information about how to actually become a member and get access to the following, so you get live trade alerts. These are via WhatsApp, email, and SMS. So we've had 3 new trade alerts go out since yesterday. You get access to mentorship, expert advice, in-depth market analysis, and you get trusted insights. So, of course, you can know earlier how to act quicker and maximize on each trade. So you're updated real time when we're getting in a trade, when we're closing a trade, when we're banking profits, and so forth. And you have access to our private members academy, all of the tuition, the teaching. You basically got 360. So you've got everything included. So you've got access to our webinars during the week. We set up your platform for trading. We provide you with support so you know the exact amount of risk that you should be taking you know the risk that we take on every single trade that we do at the Gold and Silver Club. You've got access to market insights, trading research, one-to-one mentoring and coaching is all available to you. So again, to get access to that, if you really like to just take your trading to that next level, it is www.jointhelivetradingroom.com. Okay, fantastic, good. So I wish you all good trading. And again, we'll put out another report tomorrow. That will be on YouTube. So just go over to our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. And we'll catch you all here on the next one. Make sure you've subscribed to all of the additional webinars this month on binary, or going into September on binary as well. We've got some special webinars where we'll be going through how to trade on MetaTrader 5 with binary, which I definitely think you should attend if you're trading on MT5 or you want to find out a little bit more. And we've got several other training sessions on binary.com scheduled over September. So just go over to the website, go to the webinars and just sign up for any of those which you'd like additional training on. Okay, excellent. So with that, I wish you all a fantastic weekend, good trading, and we'll catch you all on the next one. And thanks, of course, to Sharice and the team at binary.com for putting on today's webinar. Okay, thanks, guys. Take care. All the best and good trading.